Hi, I'm Steve Showalter with Showalter Property Consultants, and I'm here with Dr. Daniel Johns, a chiropractor that also is an integrative doctor that specializes in mold cases. And I'd just like to introduce Dr. Johns.
Hi. So, like Steve said, I'm a chiropractor, and I say life turned me into an integrative provider. In 2021, June of 2022, I was diagnosed with a rare muscular disease that quickly put me in the hospital. Had to do a lot of steroids and IVIG and all of that just to arrest the development of the muscular disease. And through that, I ended up developing a really intense mycotoxicity and mold sensitivity that took a really long time to figure out what was going on. So I was at the point where I could function for about 3 hours at a time. Anything walking more than about 50 yards, I had to be in a wheelchair. We went to the Baltimore Aquarium and had to be in a wheelchair the entire time. I had neurologists telling me that that was going to be my life permanently in probably about 5 years. And I just refused to take that as what my life was going to be. So I kept seeking out other providers and happened to see a naturopath who was like, this isn't mold. There's something else going on. Like, mold doesn't do this to your muscles. But let's see if it's mold. So we did some testing, found that our house did have a significant amount of mold in it. And so I moved out, and within 3 days of moving out of the house, I was able to walk like a half a mile, which was just life-changing. And that really started me down this road of seeking out mold providers that were really good at mold, and I ended up finding one here in Annapolis. And we made a lot of progress. We got to the point where I could be up for an entire day. I didn't feel like I had to take naps anymore. I still had the brain fog, but I was making significant leaps and bounds. Still had a lot of the muscle weakness. I was fatiguing walking upstairs. And one day we did IV laser. So they literally start an IV, thread a laser catheter into your vein and irradiate the blood for an hour and a half. And this was on a Thursday, and by that Saturday was my son's birthday party, and we were at Sky Zone, and I was literally picking kids up and tossing them into the ball pit. I was jumping on trampoline. It was like night and day different, and I was like, whoa. Okay, we're on to something here. So after a few more IV laser sessions, I was squatting. I was able to stand up actually on a physio ball and juggle again, which had been my goal that I did right before I actually got sick in June of last year. And that started me really down a path of figuring out how mold impacts the body. And we now have our own IV laser, and I had been doing NAET therapy for a long time prior to this, just working on food sensitivities and food allergies. And we found that we could actually utilize NAET to retrain the entire immune response. And that's a big portion of mold, because even the really best providers out there for mold, they will go down the route of binders and get the mold out of the body, get out of the moldy environment, but there's still a huge impact to the immune response. And the kind of prevailing gold standard out there right now is avoid mold for 2 years. And that's not likely in Maryland. Yeah. So we really started down this NAET and the IV laser route to say, like, okay, we're going to fix my immune system. My immune system prior to June was fine. Something happened in June that started the autoimmune thing, which is separate. But we've really been able to hone in on that, and it has been life-changing for myself, and we're now able to bring that to patients, which has been really exciting.
That's an incredible story, and I know I've referred some people to you that are having positive responses, which is incredible. And I think that you said that there's also some other diseases or illnesses that this laser therapy can help with.
Yeah, so the laser therapy's been utilized in Europe for like the last 30 years, and they use it for pretty much any and all autoimmune conditions. So we have patients with MS on it. We have a couple of RA, rheumatoid arthritis patients. It's fantastic for chronic fatigue. It's really trying to restore proper immune function. And if we can restore proper immune function, all of these autoimmune conditions, lupus, MS, whatever it may be, those symptoms start to drastically decrease in a really quick period of time. Like, we've only had this laser for a couple of months now at this point, and we're seeing really drastic changes with people.
Incredible. And I think you had mentioned in Germany there's a tremendous number of these machines, whereas the U.S.
Yeah,
it's still in infancy.
Yeah. So I think we have like 2 or 3 in the entire state of Maryland here, where I had initially done, and now ours. And I think there's 500 units in the entire U.S. as a whole. There are 3,000 of these in Germany alone. I don't know how many there are. There's a bunch in France and Italy as well. So
Incredible.
We are behind the ball there a little bit in the U.S.
And did you also mention that it could be used for treatment of Lyme disease?
Yeah, it's fantastic for Lyme, really any kind of viral or bacterial disease infection. It does really fantastic things for it. It can eradicate Epstein-Barr virus. It can get rid of Lyme. It does a lot of really cool things for viruses as well.
And were there different color lasers for different color treatments without getting too technical?
Yeah. So we have 5 different laser diodes, but 4 are the primary ones that we use that roll through, and they all do different things. So all the different lasers act on different parts of the what's called the respiratory chain of how we create energy, so how we create ATP. Some of them are antiviral, some of them are antibacterial, some of them are anti-inflammatory, and we kind of combine those all into 1 hour-and-a-half long session to get the synergistic effect of that.
So if you're having any health issues or a family member or friend, you want to reach out to Dr. Johns, and he'll be able to look into your history and maybe try to help you out with some of these. So what's the best way for somebody to contact you?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, elevatelifeclinic.com, we have more information about what we do there, but you can also submit a request, or you can just call the office directly at 410-268-3333, and we'd love to get a chance to talk to you and see if it's something that we can help you with.
And you can also help if they have any chiropractic needs.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. So we have a full team here. We have chiropractors, PTs, acupuncturists, as well as the nurse practitioner nurse that work on the integrative medicine side.
Great. Well, thank you so much, and thank you, Dr. John.
Thank you.